day, grade 10. You are welcome in this lesson. In today's lesson, we will be dealing with the topic entitled Geomorphology. According to our CAPS document, geomorphology is the topic of the second term. So under this topic, we have subtopics. So we will be looking at the first subtopic of this major topic, geomorphology. So our subtopic is the internal structure of the earth. So learners, in every topic that we learn in geography, we have goals to achieve and the aim to reach. So now, after this lesson, you should be able to know the layers of the earth. That's our number one lesson outcome. The second one, you should know how to label the layers of the earth. So as we'll be unpacking this content, you will know how to label all of these layers. The third one is you must be able to know the characteristics of each layer. So meaning each and every layer has the unique characteristics or there's something special about each layer of the earth. Again, learners, you should know how to explain concepts associated with the topic. So in every topic there are concepts, so you should know how to explain them. You should understand them. You should know them. As you know and understand them, you will be able to do what? To explain. Lastly, you should be able to extract information from different sources. From different sources, I mean you can find information from the article. You can find the information from the map. You can find the information from many different sources. So where you get your information is the sources. So you should be able to extract that information. Our subtopic says the internal structure of the earth. So as you are sitting there, learners, you are digesting the topic, you are thinking about this topic. So the focus here is on the word internal. So meaning our topic is focusing on the inside of the earth. So we have used a picture of an orange to give us an idea that the earth has something inside. You are sitting there asking yourself, what could be inside of the earth? This inside talks of what? Beneath. We are not looking at the surface of the earth. We are not looking where we are putting our food every day as we are working. But we are thinking about deep beneath the earth's surface. So as you look at the picture of an orange, you can see that there's something inside the orange. Look at it, learners. Look at how it is structured or how it is compositioned. You can see that from where you are peeling the orange, there are layers up until you reach where you get to eat. So today, learners, as you are eating the orange, I want you to think about it, the structure of the earth inside. So you can see that the outside part is a layer, the whitish part is another layer, the orange part is a layer, the orange inside, not outside, is another layer, and there is a little whitish portion there at the core of the orange. So that one is also a layer. So we're gonna find out what's really inside the earth, because yes, we can see how the orange looks inside. Therefore, with that information being said to you, we are moving on now to the question that says, how many layers of the earth do we have? Fortunately, we have geologists, people who can study about the rocks. They reveal to us about the structure of the earth inside. So it is said that the, the earth have four distinct layers. So as you look at the picture on the screen, we see how the earth is structured inside. So now we have these four distinct layers, which the first one, it is the crust. As you can see where the crust is located, it is at the outermost. And then the second one being the mantle, the third one being the outer core, and lastly we have the inner core. So in total we have four layers of the earth. So keep in mind that these are internally, these are inside the earth. Because now we know how many layers we have, learners, we are going to look at the characteristics of each layer. So now let's unpack the characteristics of these layers. Number one, we're going to look at the crust. So what is the special thing about the crust? We're going to find out about that. Where is this crust? So we'll be looking at those things that makes up the layer crust. The first one, it is said that it is the outermost layer of the earth. The outermost layer of the earth. So now you should bear the phrase that says the outer, let me highlight, the outermost layer of the earth. So now when the question comes and say which layer is the outermost, you must know that it is what? The crust. Again, it is where life exists. So meaning on this layer we are able to live, meaning all the living things are found on this layer, which is us. The people are found on the crust, the animals are found on the layer crust, so the plants are found on this layer where living things exist. This is the good thing about it, because it is where we are, learners. The second one is that it is 6 to 90 kilometer thick, and it is a solid rock. It consists of a solid rock, meaning that as we go down, as we are digging down beneath the earth's surface, we will go from 6 to 90 kilometers thick, meaning that it is where the crust ends on 90 kilometers. So again, there are two types of crust. So this crust, it is unique because it has two types. The first one is oceanic crust, which consists of basalt rock. So as we pay a close attention to our picture, where it is blue, the portion where it is blue is portion that says sea level. It is our what? Our oceanic crust. And And then with a different color, I'm going to highlight the portion of a continental crust. This one consists of a granite rock. So as you will be continuing with this topic of geomorphology in T2, you will be learning about rocks, the rock type, rock structure, the names of the rocks. So one of the type of rocks that we have is the granite rock. So you'll find out more in that topic. For now, just know that the continental crust consists of a what? A granite rock. So if you look at the thickness of continental crust and the thickness of oceanic crust, they are different. Continental crust is more thicker and the oceanic crust it is less thicker, meaning that the continental crust takes the bigger portion of the crust than the sea level. This is your ocean, your sea, the where body masses are found, where the fish, those aquatic animals are found. But on the continental crust is where we can build our houses, where people move their houses and everything, the plants here, this is where they are found, on the continental crust. So when the question is being asked about the crust, you should know whether we are talking about oceanic crust or continental crust. So the difference will be seen about their thickness. The next layer, it is the mantle. So we want to know what the mantle is all about. You can see now that there is a different illustration about the structure of the earth. It is still the same, just a different illustration. So the first characteristic of the mantle is that it is the largest layer of the earth. So if you can look at this diagram, this portion in orange color, you can see that it is larger than all. It is larger than all. So this portion in orange is what we call the mantle. The reason for this picture is that it shows the intensity of the color orange. So there's something unique about this color. There's something why it is being depicted like that. We will find out why it is in that color. So the second one is says it is just beneath the crust, meaning after the crust is where the layer mantle develops, is where the layer mantle starts. So after the 90 kilometer, then starts the mantle. As you are going deep beneath the earth's surface, you find the mantle. So in this layer, they are saying that is about 2,900 to 3,000 kilometers thick. So this number says volumes about this layer. It means that now it is deep beneath the earth's surface, meaning that if you are digging now, your digging will be longer and it will be hard work. Another thing it says, it is hot So it brings us back to the intensity of the color orange. It shows us that it is hot. So the intensity of this color resembles the hotness of the mantle. It speaks about how hot it is. So they are saying to us that temperatures may reach to 500 degrees Celsius. So you could imagine how high the temperatures are in this mantle, meaning that in this layer, life cannot exist. It means that in this layer, we cannot live. If you reach to this layer, you will die because the temperatures are very high. They are very high. You can see that this color, it looks like flames of fire. It looks like there's a burning of something happening here. That is not all about the layer mantle. Let's look at its overview. It is said that the major mantle flows because of convection currents. A new concept is revealed to us: convection currents, which are caused by the flow of very hot material at the deepest part of the mantle, rising, then cooling, and sinking again, and the cycle is repeated over and over again. As we look at the illustration here, we can see the arrows. We can see these arrows, they present a flow of something. This is convection currents. So now on the statement, it's saying very very hot material at the deepest part. So meaning that there is the upper mantle, there is the middle. So at the middle, at the deepest part of this layer, we find very hot material. So remember on our previous slide I said that if you reach this layer, you could literally die, meaning that the temperature in this layer is very high, that the material in this layer are very hot, meaning that anything that is on this layer could melt due to higher temperatures. If there's a rock there, it melts. If there's a metal there, it melts. Nothing in this layer remains left behind because it is captured by very hot temperature, very hot heat. So you remember now the intensity of that color orange. It simplifies the hotness in the layer. So the word flows or flow, it speaks something about this layer. It tells us that there is a movement happening here. There's a process happening here, and it is of convection currents. So if we can look at here on our diagram, the statement says that mantle rising, sorry about that, mantle rising. So it is rising, rising, it cools, and then it sinks down, it then comes again to rise, to rise, to rise. It then comes to rise. It rises, it rises. It cools, it sinks down. It rises, it cools, and it sinks down. So this is what it is happening here. This illustration shows us how the convection currents move. So these currents are responsible for the movement of plates of the Earth's crust. Another new information is revealed to us: the movement of plates. So as you are learning about this topic of geomorphology, the next subtopic is of tectonic plates, where you will learn more about this movement that is happening in the layer mantle, meaning that there is more to it. There is more to this layer. So that is why we have things like your earthquakes, your volcanoes. They are caused by this movement. As this movement is happening, other currents are diverging, others are converging, and then that is why sometimes we experience things like earthquakes and volcanoes. Moving on now to the third layer, being the outer core. So it is very dense but liquid due to extremely high temperatures. So from this statement, we get to find out that our outer core is in which state. So the word liquid tells us that it's in a liquid form. So the state of matter in this layer is in liquid. Due to what? Due to extremely high temperatures. So you can imagine that the temperatures from the mantle were reaching to 500 degrees Celsius. Then now what about the outer core? Is higher than that. So it is about 2,250 kilometers thick. So just after the mantle, the thickness reaches to 2,250 kilometers. It consists of iron and nickel. So here's another unique thing about this layer. It has minerals. We have the iron, we have the nickel. So meaning they are available. If now a volcano can erupt, it can push these minerals to the surface of the earth. Now this can be used to make money. So this is a good thing about the outer core. It is beneath the mantle, so we know that after the mantle we have the so-called outer core. So if you can look at the diagram, if we can pay attention to our diagram here, we spoke of the outer core, we spoke of the mantle, this portion. So now we are looking at this portion. It's called the outer core. It is the outer core. This one is the outer core. This portion in orange is called the outer core. So you can see now the size have decreased from the mantle. Now the cells have decreased, so these layers, they differ in size. So now we're gonna look at the last layer. I know the learners know already what the last layer is. So let's unpack its characteristics. Finally, we are on the last layer. So meaning beyond inner core, there's nowhere to go. First characteristic about it is extremely hot. It is extremely hot. So think about it. Extremely, extremely, extremely hot. I should have used 3 words there. It is in solid form because of the Earth's temperatures and pressure. So remember from the mantle we were speaking about higher temperature that it is from 500 degrees Celsius. The outer core, still we spoke of higher temperatures and how hot it is. So in this case, it is hotter than what it was before. So due to the Earth's temperature, beneath the Earth's surface, there are temperatures there, and this temperature is hot. So the more you go down, the more hotter it gets. Remember that phrase that says the higher you go, the colder it gets. So meaning that the more you go down, in this case, the hotter it gets. So it is 1,200 kilometers thick just beneath the outer core. So just beneath the outer core. This portion, the portion here, the core part of the earth, that is why it's called the inner core. We are on the core of the earth, but now the inner core, this portion that I've shielded with this red pointer, it's now our inner core. You can look at its size, it has decreased. It is smaller now, it is smaller. The portion in yellow, it is smaller. This portion, that's our inner, inside, innermost. Remember when we started, we spoke about the outermost. So this is the innermost layer, which is called the inner core. This is where it is located. This is where it is located, where I've pointed with the black marker. So we find out that it is very hard, as in solid form, because of what? Earth temperature and pressure. So due to that movement in mantle, there are temperatures in the earth beneath the Earth's surface, there are also pressures. There's something happening beneath the Earth's surface. So this is all about the inner core. So learners, we have learned about the exciting subtopic of geomorphology, the internal structure of the Earth. We have discovered new things about this structure inside. We have learned about the crust, we have learned about the mantle, we have learned about the outer core and the inner core. So below are the important concepts to know and understand them. The reason for this is that these concepts will be used even in the next topic or will be used throughout the topic. So there is what is called a borehole. This is the boundary that separates the crust and the upper mantle. The magma, the molten material found in the mantle. So we spoke about the middle mantle, that they are very hot material there at the deepest part of the mantle. So that molten material found there, it is called magma. So inside the earth or beneath the earth, it is called a magma. So when it comes out to the surface, it is called the lava. You will find out about this when you are learning about volcanoes. Convection currents, we spoke about them, that this is the rising, the spreading, and the sinking of gas, liquid, or molten minerals caused by heat. So due to the heat in the middle mantle, there is a rising of temperatures, there is spreading, sinking of gas. If you can remember that diagram that illustrates the movement, then remember these concepts, learners. Study them, understand them as you revise on this topic, because that will be very helpful to the next subtopic, which is tectonic plates. So that is all about today's lessons.